Hello DeSoto ISD 4th grade ELAR and Social Studies scholars. This video will inform you of everything you need to know about your culminating performance assessment due at the end of this year. The performance assessment is the final product all students are expected to complete and turn in to their teacher by May 18th. Assessments will be graded according to the grading rubric provided on the Anytime, Anywhere learning page. No or low tech, no problem. If you're viewing this video and you have low or no tech, pick up a packet on the porch of your campus. Students with paper packets may ask their parents to email pictures of their work along the way to receive feedback through scheduled phone calls with teachers, submit their culminating performance assessments by phone. Please contact your school administrator for alternative acceptable ways to submit your paper packet if you do not have technology. Weekly instructional goals. The content designed for 4th grade ELARSS Social Studies is students are navigating the research process by gathering information about the Alamo and its proud defenders. Each weekly task guides 4th grade scholars to a completed culminating product. The students are responsible for submitting a section of their paper each week in order to receive teacher feedback. Last week was the introduction and this week was the draft. In the upcoming weeks, students will be able to choose how they would like to present their product and receive instruction and assistance in completing it. This process has and will include continuous feedback from teachers and peers, as well as opportunities for revision and editing. Grades. The culminating performance assessment will determine each student's final grade. However, we want to support all of our scholars to earn a pass. So now let's look at the performance assessment and the rubric that we will be grading our scholars with. Here is the performance assessment for the 4th grade Reading Language Arts and Social Studies scholars. In Part A, they are determining topics and research questions. With their class, they're discussing and recording topics that may be interesting to research. They're thinking about the topic that we're discussing, select one to research. They also had to think about and record what they already knew about that topic, and we use a KWL chart for that. Had to generate a list of open-ended questions about their topic. Review the questions with a partner or small group, which we did on our platforms, our learning platforms. And based on the discussion, we made any necessary adjustments to clarify our questions. In Part B, in developing our plan and gathering sources. We develop our research plan. We determine what sources would be needed to address our topics and research questions, including primary and secondary sources. We listed the top 3 to 5 most relevant sources that you'll be able to answer your research questions most effectively. We have been using our Pearson books and different websites to gather our information. Part C, gathering our information. We think about the characteristics of the sources that we've gathered, use text, print features, and simple graphics to locate relevant information that address our research questions. We investigate each source to identify if the source is primary or secondary and gather relevant information to answer our research questions. We use sticky notes or note cards or whatever we had to record our relevant information gathered within each resource. As we collected the information, we cite our source, and we were careful to paraphrase and not plagiarize the information that we gathered. Using the exact words, we had to make sure we gave the author credit. Within our learning platforms, we discussed what we found about the Alamo and about our defenders or heroes of the Alamo. Use that information collected to synthesize and record new understandings about our topic. In Part D, presenting our findings, which is what we are beginning to do now. We reviewed our research, chose the audience to which we wanted to share our findings, going to choose the purpose of presenting our research. Are we just sharing objective information, or is that leading us to an opinion on our topic? Based on our purpose and information that was gathered, we're determining the best way to deliver our presentations. So you do have a choice board coming up in the next week. We're going to use our research questions, our notes, and everything that we gathered, all the information that we gathered, to write it out and then come up with a way to present what we have gathered. Just this week, we were working on number 5, developing a draft that clearly expresses our central idea, claim, and research finding in a logical order. We're using the details to help our audience to understand what we found. We also will be sure to include appropriate genre characteristics. Throughout this project, we have been working with teachers and partners to revise our drafts and to improve sentence structure, word choice, and all of those things based on our purpose. In the upcoming weeks, we will also edit our drafts for spelling and previously learned grammar skills. We will be creating a bibliography to go along with our writing or our presentation, and we will have time to share and present our writing to our audience, which will be our fellow scholars. So how can you gauge if you or your scholar ready to turn? Thank you, 4th grade Reading Language Arts and Social Studies scholars, and happy learning.